experience flying like never before as we give you the highlights of the 20th Philippine International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta. This year, we celebrate 2 decades of aviation's best. 20 years of bringing together not just aviators from all over the globe, but also locals and foreign tourists in a weekend of everything that flies. Back in 1994, the city of Angeles was a town still recovering from the Mount Pinatubo eruption 3 years past. With a wide patch of arid land, Angeles was in dire need of something to jumpstart its economy. And thus, the first ever Philippine International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta was born. The aim of the event was to position the province as a center of aviation in the Philippines. Back then, I was the only licensed balloon pilot in the country. And so it was with great honor that I represented the Philippines in this prestigious event. 20 years later, the Balloon Fiesta has become the longest-running sport aviation event in the country, annually creating aviation awareness, educating the youth about the possibilities of starting an aviation career, and bringing together people of all nationalities who share the same passion for flying. The festival has also brought prestige and honor to Clark Freeport Zone as a venue for world-class activities. Acting as a tourism magnet, the annual fiesta has spurred businesses not just in Clark and Pampanga, but also in the entire country. As every year, before we officially kick off the fiesta in Clark, we open the festivities in Manila with the Aviators Ball. Here, my fellow aviation buddies from all over the world come together for a night of catching up with old friends, as well as making new ones, as we also welcome the participating pilots for this year's fiesta. Nine Filipino Executive Director Anthony Quesada opens the night in behalf of Tourism Secretary Ramon Jimenez.
The Hot Air Balloon Festival isn't really just a local affair, but really has drawn a lot of people from outside the country. We hope that the Hot Air Balloon Festival will grow even bigger, that it will really nurture this community of people passionate about making our Philippines and our country fly.
On this night, we also recognize some of the pillars of the aviation industry in the Philippines and in the region through the Aviator of the Year awards. Without their outstanding dedication and service, our aviation industry will not be where it is today. While I enjoy the downtime with my friends, who I rarely see formally dressed, I must admit, nothing is as exciting as the Balloon Fiesta itself. After the break, we head to Pampanga to give you the highlights of the much-awaited annual aviation event. Tourists who visit the balloon fiesta probably see it as a walk in the park, as we hope they would. But for us, preparing for the fiesta is a grueling job. It takes a lot of planning and hard work. Before the festivities start, I drive this trusty Discovery Sport around the venue to make sure everything's in place.
Well, it's our last day for preparation. Everybody's getting ready with their tents, with their airplanes. Even the Air Force helicopters are here. That's great.
Our love for aviation is the main force that pushes us to do better and push further each year. These are all possible. Of course, the united effort from the Clark International Airport Corporation, Bases Conversion and Development Authority, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, the Philippine Navy, and of course, the Clark Development Corporation under the leadership of Attorney Arthur Tugade, whose determined and no-nonsense approach kept things moving smoothly forward. But what made all the difference this year was the much bigger participation of the Philippine Air Force, whose exhibits and air shows were visible throughout the fiesta. Philippine Air Force weatherman Sergeant Minerva gave us the weather briefings that preceded each day of the fiesta, necessary to prepare the team for all possible scenarios. As the sun rose every morning of the fiesta, the Philippine Air Force Marching Band gave a visual showcase musical artistry. In tune to the beats and the band's harmony, the Philippine Air Force Commanding General, Lieutenant General Jeffrey Delgado, was personally present for the welcome address.
On the power of the authority granted to me by my colleagues, President Arthur Tugade and Joy Roa, I now officially declare the Philippine Hot Air Balloon 2016 open.
For an aviator, it felt good to be supported by our country's Air Force. Their interactive exhibits and aircraft displays were a big hit with the attendees. Together with this year's Miss Aviation winner, Christine Maliksi, and runners-up Richelieu Santos and Trisha Abaya, we checked out the main attraction of these displays. The recently acquired FA-50 Golden Eagle fighter jets are the newest addition to the Air Force inventory. A fly-by-wire aircraft, mainly controlled by computers, FA-50 is a lightweight multi-role aircraft used for both combat and training missions.
This aircraft is a two-seat aircraft. It means that the backseat pilot usually is the instructor pilot. The student pilot will be sitting in the front seat. This aircraft is capable of more than the speed of sound.
After a long hiatus, it really feels good that the Air Force is back at the supersonic age.
We anticipate the next year's Balloon Fiesta to have more robust participation by the Air Force. This is the Philippine Air Force way of helping out in the national program to make this Balloon Fiesta really an international event.
Back at the festival, this year's here, the new Philippine flag balloon set off to mark the spot where the Hound balloons dropped their markers. It was followed by the special-shaped balloons: Baby Dino, Smiley Scarecrow, Little Devil, Dragon Balloon, Little Girl and Little Boy, Bessie the Big Green Monster, Bruno the Clown, and the Cathedral-shaped balloon. The traditional balloons were also up, completing the 28 balloons participating this year. The beauty of this splendid sight never fades, no matter how many times I see it. For the rest of the 4-day weekend, non-stop flying dotted the Clark skyline. Private and aspiring commercial pilots impressed the crowd through the balloon bursting competition. one of the most applauded activities in the fiesta. The event enhances the pilot's eye-in-hand coordination skill and sharpens his anticipation and use of the aircraft controls to do precise maneuvers that will burst the balloon.
I'm proud to represent the Navy, and as a female pilot, I encourage all the people out there to join the Navy and experience to fly the Cessna during the balloon bursting competition.
Civilian pilots show their flying skills with ultralight planes. On the ground, hobbyists demonstrated remarkable aerobatics with their radio control aircraft. In the air, aerobatic pilot Sean Clark showcased impressive flying maneuvers in his decathlon. He performs his own choreographed routine called Hibok Hibok Action Sequence, an explosion of aerobatic maneuvers that pilots should never attempt without proper training.
What happens if you bank past 90? What happens if you spin? What happens if you excessively cross control? You can get answers to all of these questions, and that'll make you more confident. And then after that, you can go on flying loop-to-loops, inverted, all these things that people really want to do. And then you can even go up to competition if you were up for that kind of thing.
British skydivers jump from the BN Islander for a heart-pumping free fall before slowing down by deploying their parachutes. Some lucky attendees also got to experience this exciting jump through tandem skydiving. The highlight of the event was the twins aerobatic paragliders, Timothy and Anthony Green, who showed their impressive skills in synchronized paragliding for the first time in the fiesta, and even set a record for being the first paragliders to jump off of a hot air balloon 3,000 feet above the ground. Both twins are world record holders and filmmakers, comfortably doing their twists and turns while filming everything up and above with an action cam.
Perfect.
There was no shortage of activities on the ground. The young and young at heart, who didn't want to be left out, were happy to fly colorful kites of all shapes and sizes. Dr. Drift, Odell Season, also kept the crowd entertained with his steering drifting skills, even inviting some of the audience to experience the thrilling but safe ride. Other exciting activities, courtesy of our partner groups, ensured that there was never a downtime for our guests. They were able to feed and play with adorable animals, do horseback riding, camel riding, archery, or simply watch over their kids as they jump for joy at the inflatable playground. On the eve of Valentine's Day, Jeepney TV also kept the guests on high with good music and a little bit of romance. It wasn't only the aircraft soaring in the fiesta. Emotions were also flying high. This year, we saw several wedding proposals during the festivities that we know of. With thousands of attendees, most of them lovers celebrating Valentine's Day with us, we really can't be sure.
It was a great experience. When I was up there, I was really shaking. And then the pilot was asking me to look down. So when I looked down, I saw the signage, but it's not that clear. And then when we reached the ground, it was really, I was really shocked that there's a tarpaulin that says, "Will you marry me?" And it was like crazy.
Well, congratulations to all those soon-to-be husbands and wives. While I wish you all the best, I hope the balloon fiesta does not contribute to the overpopulation of the Philippines in the coming years. Up next, we share with our foreign guests and the rest of the world the true beauty of the Philippines and the Filipino people. We Filipinos have a lot to be proud of. We have the friendliest and happiest locals. We have world-class, stunning scenery. And a rich and fascinating history. Every year, I make sure to share the Filipino pride to my foreign aviator friends. Our first stop, Manabañas Integrated School in Angeles City, Pampanga. I love this part of our yearly school visit. You can really see how happy and excited the students are to meet people from foreign lands. Looking at the faces of my colleagues, I can also see that they feel the same way. Our hospitality and spontaneous humor can make any tourist feel at home. While our infectious love for music can make anyone put on their dancing shoes. Yes, even me. Having received so much joy and laughter, we cannot leave without giving them something in return. After bonding with the locals, we learn more about the rich culture and heritage of Angeles City at the Museum of Social History of the Philippines, the first of its kind in the country, and Museo ni Angeles, where we got to splurge on first-rate authentic Kapampangan dishes. The province, after all, is the culinary capital of the Philippines. Now that our foreign guests have become experts on Filipino life and culture, it is time to give them the best Filipino treat, a trip to one of the most majestic beaches in the country, Balesin. From Clark International Airport, we take a quick flight via Dornier 328 to Polillo, Quezon. For a pilot, this 500-hectare island paradise holds a certain charm.
And the reason why Balesin is my favorite is because it is the only island resort here in the Philippines with the longest concrete runway, 1,500 meters, and even a jet can land here.
The interesting thing about Balesin is that it allows you to be in different parts of the globe in just a few minutes ride on a jeep or a golf cart. Its villas are patterned after some of the most beautiful beachside towns in the world and offers authentic native cuisines from the home country. There's the Valley Village from Indonesia, Saint-Tropez from France, Costa del Sol from Spain, Mykonos from Greece, and Toscana from Italy.
One thing good about Balesin is just a few coves away, you're totally in a different world.
Outside, the pristine waters and refreshing wind makes you want to go out and play, which was what I did with Timothy and Anthony, who are apparently skilled in kite surfing as well. Kite surfing is a surface water sport where you control a tethered kite over your head and a wakeboard under your feet to propel across the water. The theory is, if you're good at both kiting and wakeboarding, kite surfing is a piece of cake.
But I'm only an airplane pilot. How do I do this then?
The concept is all the same. It's all flying objects.
Okay.
So this is the harness. It goes around your waist.
Okay, how do I do that? Front?
Put it around your back.
Okay.
Pull this tight. Put the Velcro together. So and this hook is what connects to the kite surfing wings. Are you ready
Okay.
to go?
Yeah.
The twins do a final check on my harness and kite before letting me test my kite surfing abilities.
Well, that wasn't me. You don't think I want to end up in Hawaii. This is the Pacific Ocean, and if I get lost, aloha to me.
In the midst of all these beautiful iconic towns is the local Ifugao village, where third-generation wood carvers from the mountain province craft masterpieces out of the island's plentiful supply of driftwood. Another thing I admire about Balesin is its sustainability and self-sufficiency. Its 1.5-kilometer runway actually doubles as a rainwater catchment, diverting about 200 million liters of water per year into the several man-made lakes scattered in the islands. Despite its already thriving marine ecosystem, Balesin opts to cultivate its own seafood through man-made fish pens and ponds. The island also has its own organic garden to provide its restaurants with fresh organic produce.
It's a little bit of paradise here. Probably the only thing they don't have is the forbidden fruit. Otherwise, this is a fantastic island. A dream, and so close just a hop.
We really couldn't have found a better place to end the 20th Balloon Fiesta than this paradise. As I take a look back on the past 20 years, I can't help but feel nostalgic and overwhelmed of all the people we were able to bring together through our united passion for everything that flies. Not every fiesta is a complete success. There have been a lot of challenges. Some even made us wonder whether continuing this journey was still worth it. Looking at all these people, I already got my answer.
Were you happy? Did you enjoy the fiesta and participating and volunteering our time and effort? Do you think it was worth doing?
It's color, everything, and getting up on the air for people, even for those in the ground. You should actually see not only what we see from there or from above, but the fiesta, the people out there, they never had so much fun.
The happiest moments for me is when I know people walk out of the gate with happy memories. That makes me very happy. That makes all the hard work seem worth it. This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Aviation!